Hey guys, today we're going to talk about Chris Jenkins. Hey guys, Victoria Paxton here. Thanks for stopping back by my YouTube channel. Okay guys, so like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff is free. Hold on. Get situated. It's hot as Hades in here, y'all. If you're a fake psychic, do yourself a favor and get off of YouTube altogether. If you're a real psychic, hey, hi, hello, let's talk and become buddies. Okay, guys, so don't forget to join me Friday night, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on my YouTube channel, you guys. Okay, so you know how we do this. I'm going to talk about the background. I'm going to talk about if I was able to connect or not and all that fun stuff. So let's go, guys. Okay. In the heart of Minneapolis, Minnesota, on a chilly Halloween night in 2002, 21-year-old Christopher Jenkins disappeared. What began as a night of celebration at a local bar took a sinister turn when Chris vanished without a trace, only to have his lifeless body discovered in the Mississippi River 4 months later. Initially, his death was ruled as an accidental drowning. The case left many questions unanswered. On Halloween night, Chris Jenkins, a university student and Eden Prairie High School graduate, joined his friends at the Lone Tree Bar in Minneapolis. Chris was dressed in an American Indian costume. Right around midnight, Chris was asked to leave the bar, and this was the last known sighting of him. 4 months passed before anyone would get any answers about Chris. In February 2003, the discovery of his lifeless body in the frigid waters off the Mississippi River sent shockwaves through the community. The Hennepin County Medical Examiner's Office determined that Chris had died of drowning, but the circumstances of his death remained unsurprising. Authorities initially closed the case, attributing it to an accidental drowning. As the years passed, doubts about this emerged. Chris's parents, Jan and Steve Jenkins, were devastated. Jan and Steve embarked on a relentless quest for answers. Unsatisfied with the official explanation of accidental drowning, they tried to unravel the truth behind their son's tragic death. Their determination led them to hire private investigators, engaged renowned bloodhounds, and conduct an independent inquiry, all in pursuit of justice for their son. The story of Chris Jenkins' mysterious disappearance took an unexpected turn with the arrival of the television show Breaking Homicide. This show aired on Investigation Discovery. This show that aired on Investigation Discovery featured former Rhode Island police detective Derek Levasseur and forensic pathologist Chris Mohandy, who specialized in investigating cold case murders. The episode, Secrets of the River, delved into the enigmatic circumstances surrounding Chris's case, shedding new light on the investigation. The show's premise involved re-examining original clues and pursuing new leads to potentially solve cold cases, offering a fresh perspective on the case that had stumped authorities for years. The turning point came when an incarcerated individual, described as either a suspect or an eyewitness, stepped forward with information that rekindled hope for justice in Chris Jenkins' case. According to police sources, this person claimed that Chris had fallen victim to an attempted robbery that escalated tragically. Allegedly, Chris, intoxicated and clad in an American Indian costume, was accosted on the Hennepin Avenue Bridge's pedestrian walkway on that fateful night. This inmate's shocking revelation suggested that Chris was thrown over the bridge railing into the Mississippi River, marking a significant shift from the theory of an accidental drowning. This revelation prompted authorities to reclassify the case as a homicide investigation, sparking new momentum in pursuing the truth. The Minneapolis Police Department, after years of strained relationships with the Jenkins family, made a remarkable move by reopening the investigation and reclassifying Chris Jenkins' death as a homicide. Wow, that never happens. That's awesome. In a news conference, Police Chief Timothy Dolan apologized to the Jenkins family for the department's earlier assumptions and inaction, acknowledging that they had made a mistake. This gesture of remorse and acknowledgement of errors in the initial investigation marked a significant step towards reconciliation with the grieving family. Jan and Steve Jenkins, who had long felt that authorities had not done enough to solve their son's case, accepted their apology. This newfound collaboration between law enforcement and the Jenkins family signified a renewed commitment to uncover the truth and bring closure to a case that had haunted them for over a decade. The reopening of the case and the inmate's revelation set the stage for a determined effort to solve the mystery surrounding Chris Jenkins' disappearance and death. It offered renewed hope for justice and closure to a family that had endured years of uncertainty and heartache. The inmate's revelation that Chris Jenkins may have fallen victim to an attempted robbery on that fateful Halloween night introduced a compelling and sinister twist to the case. According to the informant, intoxicated and vulnerable Chris became a target for muggers on the pedestrian walkway of the Hennepin Avenue Bridge. Apparently frustrated by Chris having nothing of value, the assailants resorted to a shocking act, flinging him over the bridge's railing into the icy waters below. This theory diverged sharply from the original belief of accidental drowning, painting a starkly different picture of Chris's final moments. It raised critical questions about the events leading up to his disappearance and the motivations behind the act, giving investigators a new path to follow. To uncover the truth behind the attempted robbery theory, investigators focused their efforts on the Hennepin Avenue Bridge's pedestrian walkway where the alleged crime occurred. Revisiting the scene years after the fact presented numerous challenges, including fading memories of potential witnesses and changing physical conditions. However, modern forensic techniques and investigative expertise allowed authorities to re-examine the area for any overlooked evidence. They sought to piece together the events that led to Chris Jenkins' disappearance and subsequent death. This meticulous process involved combing through surveillance footage, interviewing potential witnesses, and reconstructing the events of that Halloween night. Transitioning from the initial classification of accidental drowning to a homicide investigation brought its own set of challenges. Building a compelling homicide case demanded substantial evidence, including witness testimonies, physical evidence, and a motive for the crime. The inmate's confession, while significant, had to be thoroughly vetted to ensure its credibility and corroborated with tangible evidence. Additionally, the passage of time presented hurdles in collecting fresh evidence and locating potential witnesses. Investigators grappled with whether the inmate's revelation was a genuine confession or a ploy to secure a more favorable outcome in his unrelated case. The delicate balance of justice weighed on their shoulders as they sought to bring closure to the Jenkins family. The attempt to unravel the mystery behind Chris Jenkins' disappearance and the subsequent revelations underscored the complexities of homicide investigations. It demonstrated law enforcement resilience and the Jenkins family unwavering determination to seek justice for their beloved son, even in the face of daunting challenges. Chris Jenkins' case was not an isolated incident. It shared unsettling similarities with other cases involving college-age students who disappeared after nights of drinking, some of whom were found dead in nearby rivers. The police even received inquiries from other agencies about possible connections between these cases. The eerie pattern of these disappearances sparked speculation and raised the question of whether a serial predator was at large. The quest for answers extended beyond Chris's case as investigators explored the possibility of uncovering a more significant and unsettling truth. One theory that gained attention during the investigations into these cases was the smiley face murder theory. This controversial theory suggested that a group of serial killers was responsible for the deaths of young men found in bodies of water. These cases were characterized by smiley face graffiti near the locations where the bodies were discovered. While this theory remained contentious and unproven, it added an element of intrigue and complexity to the ongoing investigations, leaving open the possibility of a larger interconnected mystery. The search for truth remained ongoing for the Jenkins family and the investigators working tirelessly on these cases. The reopening of Chris Jenkins' case and the emergence of new leads brought renewed hope, but the challenges of building a homicide case and finding concrete evidence persisted. As they navigated the labyrinth of mysteries and explored potential connections, pursuing justice continued to be a daunting and emotionally charged journey. In the face of uncertainty, they remained committed to discovering the truth behind these enigmatic cases, offering hope for resolution to grieving families and communities affected by these mysteries. Okay, you guys, so I was able to connect with Chris. Explained who I was. He immediately was defensive and said, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to go back there. I don't want to relive that. And I said, I completely understand. I just kind of want to hear your side of the story of what happened and see if there's anything that you can give me that would be helpful. So he said he remembers being in the bar. He remembers being told to leave the bar because he was staggering. He said I clearly had too much to drink. So he left, and unfortunately, just like in Riley, I'm adding this part, okay? Just like in Riley Strain's case, nobody went with him, which I don't understand, okay? Anyway, he said he was walking along and he all of a sudden heard footsteps running behind him. So he knew there was somebody back there. He swung around, turned around. There were 3 young men. 2 were white. 1 looked to be mixed. He said maybe he was Hispanic and white, or maybe he was African American and white. He said they looked to be about the same age. He said he was thinking, you know, maybe late teens. They grabbed him, you know, kind of just pummeled him around just a little bit, and they were trying to find money. He had a costume on, so they were digging, trying to find money. When they couldn't find money, the one guy who clearly was the one in charge, he was a white dude. He said he was a little taller than he was, and a little stocky. He said he was a little stocky. He said he was clearly angry that Chris didn't have any money on him or anything on him, you know, to take. So he told the other guys, he said, toss him in. He said he was fighting the 2 guys as they literally threw him in. And he said he was just so intoxicated. He said his body hit the water, and it was just, he said he felt like maybe he just went into shock. And he said he doesn't remember anything after that until he wakes up. He is where he is. And he said, I didn't get a great description of them, you know. He said the one guy had really short-cut, the guy who seemed to be in charge that was a little stocky, had really short-cut, light brown hair. He said he had a tattoo. Like, the shirt that he had on, you could see that there was a tattoo coming up a little bit, like right here on the side of his neck. He couldn't tell what it was. It was just like peeking out of his shirt, I guess. He said the other white guy was a good 4-5 inches shorter than that guy. He was very thin, and he had like stringier long hair down to his shoulders. The other gentleman, he said he had really kinky, short-cut hair. That's why he said, you know, he looked like maybe he was Hispanic or African American, light brown skin. The guy with the stringy hair, he said he had beautiful blue eyes. They were just piercing blue eyes. He doesn't remember anything else, and I don't know that this is going to help. I said, you know, do you think your case has anything to do with the smiley face murders? And he's like, I don't think so, no. This had to do with these 3 punks, were his words. I asked if they were going to be arrested, if he was going to get justice, and he said no. And I didn't see it either, just so you guys know. I don't think the family's going to get any kind of justice, which really sucks, you know. In all these cases, it's so stupid. I mean, they killed him over nothing. Nothing, you know. They didn't get anything out of him. They killed him for nothing. Yeah, so they killed him over nothing. It's so many of these cases, you guys, it just absolutely pisses me off and blows my mind. I just can't even. Okay, guys, I wanted to add this in here, so if you're still hanging with me, thank you. I got a couple of comments about, you know, oh, you were so hard on Gypsy Rose Blanchard. Did you forget that her mom abused her? And you're not very spiritual if you're saying all these things about her. Let me say this, you guys. I'm not perfect. I'm so far from perfect. I'm a normal human being with normal thoughts. And there's something about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. I can't put my finger on it. I don't trust her. I think that she's a scary individual. Am I perfect? Hell no, I don't claim to be. So if you're looking for a perfect psychic medium, you're on the wrong channel. Just wanted to throw that out there. I can't make everybody happy all the time. You know what I mean? And I'm not going to try to. I'm me. My gifts are part of me, and that's that. So Be nice, be kind, stay safe, stay healthy, and that about does it for me. I hope you guys are having an amazing week and enjoying the weather. Hopefully your area is getting beautiful weather like our area. Bye, guys.